Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Balance Your Productivity live broadcast here every Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. You are welcome to like and follow my Facebook page if you want to get the latest and find out when I go live, and you can also add your comments there in the thread for the session. So thank you for watching, and please do feel free to share and pass these on and watch any of the previous videos in the series. In case you don't know by now, I share information on a particular topic around how you can improve your productivity and find easier ways to manage the time that you have so you can spend more time enjoying some of the things that you do. So this week's topic, as we're at the end of the month, I wanted to, and as it's the end of January, I wanted to take a look at changing habits. And so we've just got through January, so whether you've been suffering from January blues, weather hasn't been great. It's actually nice today, but it's been pretty cold, damp, miserable, and here in the UK at least, we've got the dark, cold mornings, so it's not particularly conducive to getting out and doing things. But if you do make a commitment to changing your habits, then New Year resolutions are something that a lot of people will set, although various surveys seem to show that people don't set them, or they set them and then they don't stick to them. And there are key areas that people tend to focus on when they are changing resolutions. There's around their health, weight, doing more exercise, things that they want to do at work, personal development types of things. So if you do commit to changing your habits, and you have committed to changing them, then now is a good time to look back and see what's happened over the last month or so. And even if you don't make New Year's resolutions, there's no reason why you can't change or adjust your habits at any time of the year. And it's always a good idea to, I do. I had a couple that I started off this year. One was getting back into my yoga routine, which I find particularly helpful because I do spend a lot of time sitting, so get very stiff, especially getting older. And so I found that was really helping, and I did that a lot last year, and I managed to stick to every single day of the year until just towards the end of the year, particularly when I'd been away. I'd got out of that habit, so it's just about getting back into that. And I'm pleased to say that I have stuck with that for the whole of January so far. And I'm used to doing things like that on a regular basis, so it wasn't too difficult for me to slip back into that. But it is something that when you try something new, or you're doing a different way of doing things, it doesn't feel particularly comfortable, at least when you start. So getting used to the new habit takes a while, so you need to allow at least a week or two to start to see a difference and feel the difference and become a bit more comfortable with the change that you're trying to make. So after a couple of weeks, you should be able to feel that it's a bit easier, or you can see what's working. There was some research done a good few years ago that said it takes 21 days to change a habit. And I think I also heard, and I've seen quite a lot, that it actually takes 30 to 31 days to change a habit. So 31 days a month is quite a good goal to aim for sticking with something. But the reality is that our habits are all different. Our motivation for those habits is different, and we're all different. So some people, they might find it really easy to stick with a habit, and they've got it sussed within a week. And other people, again, university research was going through various people's different habits, how long it took them. And it can take anything between the reality of around 60 days up to 500 days. So that's a good year and a half of sticking with something for it to become a new habit. So don't feel bad or sort of put off by the fact that you have your New Year's resolutions, and by the middle of January, perhaps even by now, or even February, you've fallen off the bandwagon. It's It's easy and it's perhaps expected to slip up, but don't give up at that point. Just relook at what you're doing and get yourself back on track. And those few slip ups are not actually going to impact your success in the long run if you just get yourself back on track and commit to doing it the following day. Being aware that you are moving out of your old comfortable ways of working and expanding your new zone of comfort into a new and better way of doing is a good motivation and reason for making that change. So at least if you're moving from perhaps doing something not necessarily every single day, but 2-3 times in a week, 5 days out of 7, that's progress. You might even do it once in the first week, twice in the second week, but you're gradually building it up. So don't lose that momentum. What people tend to find, and I'm sure you've experienced it, is that habits follow a pattern. There's a trigger or cue that starts that habit off, whether it's good or a bad habit, and then you do something in response to that trigger. And then there will be a reward for the action that you take. So if your habit is around exercise or lack of exercise, particularly perhaps a bad habit around not having time to exercise, there's that element of feeling tired, or particularly if outdoor activities, it's not that conducive to going out and doing exercise outdoors. So you effectively decide to do something else or take some non-action regards of that. And the benefit is that you don't feel tired, you don't get hot and sweaty, you can relax, you can find something else to do. So understanding what your current habits are and what you would like to change, and how you can make changing those habits easy or easier. So if you decide let's restart, we're coming up to the beginning of another month, restart the whole process of what would you like to change or achieve over the next 31 days? What are some habits that you would like to start with, or something that you would like to do differently, whether it is around eating more healthily, doing more exercise, getting up earlier, going to bed earlier. That's one I could probably put down for this month. Getting into the habit of going to bed earlier. Being more organised, being able to plan your time on a daily basis. That's something that quite a few of the people that I've been working with recently over the last month with habits, it is about getting into that habit of planning on a daily basis and how you can make that work for you. Whether there's a work-related goal that you'd like to achieve in the next 31 days, or at least start to work on something. It could be work-wise, it could be something personal, it could be something around your home. How you feel each morning is also going to impact both your motivation and your energy levels, and how you feel during the day. So being aware of that and not being too tough on yourself if you're having a low energy day, or looking at how you can change or moderate that habit, particularly with the habit of exercise. Something else I mentioned, that I've been doing yoga on a daily basis. So that doesn't mean that I'm doing 60 minutes, 30 minutes of yoga every single day. But it does mean that if I'm having a low energy day, or I've had a particularly busy day, or even if I've done some other classes during the day, I will still find time to do at least 10 to 15 minutes within that day. So it's not a huge chunk of time, but it's something, and something is better than nothing. So another way of looking at keeping you motivated is that a little bit is better than doing nothing at all, particularly around exercise. Quite a few people, particularly January, there's a good Couch 2K, Couch 5K program, which builds you up little bit by bit, which is a nice, easy way of building up to exercise and to being able to run a 5K. But there might be some days when you don't feel like going with the program, but at least if you've got out, you've perhaps gone for a brisk walk rather than actually run, and perhaps your body just needs to take a break. So thinking back over the last month, as we come up to the end of the month, look at what did you achieve over the last 30, 31 days? And what would you like to plan to do over the next 30, 31 days? 28 as it's February. How were you feeling during the month? So I said January can be a bit of a down month, a bit of a slow month, or you might have had a really busy start to the year. So think about what your energy levels were like. What got in your way or stopped you from making progress or moving forward this month? Was there something where you felt challenged or you felt frustrated? And what could you do to change that moving forward into this next month? And perhaps any insights or achievements you've had. It's always useful and helpful to look back and review what's going on, because then you can modify, you can adjust, and you can make progress. Particularly if you're in goal setting frame of mind, it's good to have that regular and ongoing review process. So thinking about your success rates, what worked, what didn't work, whether you're hitting your goals and your targets for the month, and not being too tough on yourself either. Sometimes we have slower months and sometimes weeks, and some weeks are better than others, when suddenly we feel really in the flow and everything's going really well, and then we might just hit a block every now and then. So that review process will help you to get through those. And the important thing really is to keep going, keep moving forward, even if you're just making small steps forward. And the more you do, the easier it becomes. And when you've got into that habit of plan, action, and review, the whole process becomes easier and you're less likely to get stuck. So think about what your objective you would like for the following month. And if you wanted to either restart your New Year's resolutions, or you've got some habits that you would like to change, why not join me on my 31-day challenge? It takes you through the process of building your habits at any time of the year. It just doesn't have to be with that New Year's resolution. It's January, start to the year. Any time you want to take stock, restart, and reboot, so to speak. We've got holidays coming up that you might want to focus on something that you would like to do in time for that, or before that, or during. If you're starting or ending a career, you want to get promotion this year, or perhaps you want to change jobs. What are some of those habits that you could form around those? Perhaps you'd like a personal challenge for the year, so changing habit, moving forward with that, particularly health and exercise. Good areas to focus on with a challenge, and I always like to have either a running or a cycling challenge that links in with that. Perhaps it's something that you've wanted to do for a while, but you've never really found the time. So how about creating a habit that enables you to find that time to do that thing? So if you want to join the 31-day challenge, not only will you get support and accountability throughout the whole 31 days, but you will also receive daily productivity tips to help you understand your current habits and what you can do to make those habits stick, how to make them easier, how to link them to your current way of working, understanding your patterns of behavior, so that you can actually make those habits stick and you can be more successful over the next 31 days. So if you'd like to join me, I will put the link down in the comments for the show, and you can just click through or get in touch if you'd like any additional support on any of your particular challenges. So until next time, when I will look at tips and strategies for those of you who either work at home permanently or part-time, or only occasionally. So work from home over the next couple of sessions at least. Until then, take care and stay productive.